Hi there, it's Pam. How is everybody doing today? I think I might be healing from burnout. I'm not past it, it's not in the rearview mirror, but I feel like I'm moving, past it. Like you're driving on a street and, the houses are going by on one side or the other. I feel like there are a few signs that I am healing from this burnout. And one sign is that I'm tired of saying the word thinking about it. um it's like anything. When you explore it for a long time, you can get tired of it. And also, just I don't like to identify myself with certain things like labels. Pam, oh yeah, she's the one who's burnt out. I think that might be a reason why I sort of resist having a niche on here. But mainly it's just that, I'm kind of scatterbrained and I have a lot of things I want to talk about. But why do I think I might be healing from burnout? Well, I jotted down a few notes, as one does, as I do. And so I'll refer to those a little bit. I think things are a little bit dicey still, in the way that, mentally, physically, I feel still fragile. It's kind of like, things are put back together, but let's say you have a cup that, is broken. Maybe it's a special cup made of clay, like a pottery that was special to your husband, and you accidentally, slammed it into the dishwasher a little too hard one time in the past and it broke, and then you repaired it with the special glue. That's a little specific, but yeah, that is what happened many years ago with a special mug that we had bought special mugs on our honeymoon because we'd forgotten to bring any mugs for coffee. And so I went down to the Mount Robson gift shop on a pouring rainy morning while we were struggling to get a fire together, and had realized we had no mugs to put this coffee we were so desperately trying to make. And I found these beautiful mugs. There was a kind of a round one and more of a masculine looking one, and there were a pair, sitting up on the shelf. And I looked underneath, and sure enough, there was, the signature of the person who'd made them. And I thought, oh, they're in a gift shop, they're going to be ridiculously expensive. And they were a little pricey, but not insane. So we bought them. I bought them, brought them back to the campsite, and we used them like every day, for years. And anyway, this one day, I think I was, having a little temper tantrum with things not fitting in the dishwasher, and I pushed too hard. And anyway, long story short, back to burnout. You wouldn't want to take a mug that you had carefully put back together and put it back in the dishwasher, right? You want to wash it by hand carefully. So that's kind of how I'm feeling. A little put back together, a little fragile, not quite sure if the glue is dry, if that makes sense. So, but I've noticed some differences, reading here again, from last year or, even earlier this year. And here are a few signs that I'm coming home to myself, maybe more than ever before in my life. The first one is I'm not constantly ruminating. So ruminating is when you think about something over and over and you just can't seem to shake the thought, and it can get, kind of intrusive. And so I was constantly ruminating about different problems, and especially the work situation that I used to be in, going over and over in my mind why it was so difficult, what was happening, whether it was my fault or other people's fault or just the situation. And could not stop watching videos on that topic and just, ruminating. I'm not really doing that anymore. I still can get caught up in thinking about other situations that are difficult, but it's not to the same extent where I can't seem to shake it. I can't fall asleep, because I just keep going over and over this situation, trying to fix it. So that's the first sign, not as much rumination. And the second thing I wrote down here was increased capacity. So I've noticed that I'm not as kind of freaked out about taking on an extra student or being asked to do, something work related that is a little extra, maybe even moving an appointment around or a lesson around to a different time. It doesn't throw me for a loop, right? Where before I just noticed that any little extra thing would make me feel like out of control, just with anxiety, stress. And it was kind of coming from this place of, I can't handle it. What if I can't handle it, right? And I feel like I'm able to take on a little bit more. My capacity has increased a bit. Even like interruptions to the schedule, scheduling a bit of a fuller day, so not needing as much kind of margin or downtime as I did before. So when I was first kind of realizing that I was burnt out and I was trying to get back into life, it wasn't uncommon for me to take an entire morning in a row, or a whole afternoon, where my goal was just rest, was just survival. And I couldn't really think about anything else. I was just kind of getting through. And I don't do that anymore. So, I think that's a sign. Number 4, renewed zest. Oh, number three, sorry. Poor number 3, left all alone. Wanting to exercise more and being able to. So I wanted to exercise, but if I exercised in the morning, I went for a long walk or, did a workout routine, lifted weights, something like that, it would tire me out for the rest of the day. I wouldn't have as much, energy. And now I'm kind of back to, I want to do some kind of workout, some kind of movement every day. And it actually energizes me like it's supposed to. It doesn't completely drain all my resources. So that's been a sign. More movement. And number 4, renewed zest for life, ? I think I am being more interested now in little things, ideas, plans. What else did I write down here? Activities outside of just surviving the day or week. I still have that kind of survival mode where I feel like I've just got to power through these days, or I have to power through, the next week. And it's that kind of survival autopilot, try not to think too hard about it so I don't, lose myself. But I'm not doing that as much anymore. I'm not just surviving. I'm able to, think more creatively, able to want to, get together with someone, have a phone call. Whereas before, anything extra that I absolutely didn't have to do felt like a huge burden, a huge intrusion. And so that's good. Those are the things. Those are the 4 things. Let's review. Here's my teacher mode coming out. Number 1, not constantly ruminating. Number 2, increased capacity. Number 3, movement, being able to exercise more. And number 4, generally having a renewed zest for life. Like I'm not super excited, but I can get passionate about something, an idea, or researching something, or even, art or music. I've been able to play the piano a bit, which is really new. I'm still hoping to start reading again. That's kind of hasn't happened yet. One thing I need to be aware of and figure out how to handle is, with more evidence of capacity, and in air quotes, comes more demands, right? So, example, people see that I'm writing a blog and they think, oh, she has time to do that. She'll have time to write this for me, or help me edit this, or review, something I've written, or help me with a project. I mean, surely you would have time to do that, because look at all the time you spent writing this blog. Another example is people see that I'm taking time to do other things, like maybe travel somewhere, see a friend, being creative. And so, well, she must be raring to go. I'll ask her to babysit. I'll ask her to take on, another responsibility. And so that's what I kind of have to be aware of. I think part of continuing to heal will be protecting my time still, even though that often feels really selfish to do. I'm trying to be a whole person, and if I can get to be a whole person, then I can do more. I can help out more, right? And number 2, protecting my peace. So I've noticed that those emotional drains are, just energy suckers, right? Something that's bothering me emotionally it's like all the energy is just going down that drain, right? And so protecting my peace sometimes means not entering into someone's argument or someone's project where they're trying to fix someone, right? Or just getting upset by even politics, or obviously there's lots of things going on, but protecting my peace doesn't mean, shutting the door on reality and what's going on in the world, but I don't have to entertain it all the time either. I can choose to open the door and let things in when I feel like I can handle it, not just let all of, like I kind of used to be a person figuratively who like had both doors open, front door, the back door, and things like were just walking through all the time. And I kind of felt it was my role to just be available and do whatever I was supposed to do. And part of that was kind of like, just being way too open and really functioning like a doormat sometimes, and realizing that that's not necessarily everyone else's fault, right? I'm the one that's opening the door. I'm the one that's given everyone the key to my life. I'm the one who's laying down here letting people walk all over me, right? And so part of the healing journey has just been standing up for myself and realizing that I have permission to take good care of myself, and that's really important for everyone in my life too. So, hey, that was my little spiel about why I think I'm starting to heal from burnout. So if you can relate, let me know what you relate to. And thanks for just coming along on this journey with me. If you have a chance to hit the like button, that would be super helpful, but only if you feel like it. All right, I'll see you next time. Bye.